Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, the Guru venue. Today's episode is a continuation of a plot. This plot has started when the Rokea of the Darkwater Grotto announced that they were unhappy. Apparently, an action done by the Sept of the Green had resulted in them being targeted by unknown assailants. These assailants being tall, crab-like beings that could function just as well on land as they could deep in the water where their grotto was attacked. The Guru, along with the few that were fortunate enough to talk with the Rokea, investigated the boat where they met an ancient Rokea of waves. There they found some information. Across the city at that time, right after they found the information, a young Guru, though he didn't know he was a Guru at the time, came home to find his husband had been changed. His husband was one of these crab beings. The shock of that moment led to his first change. Now we're back at the Sept, where the information that was found on the boat, along with the sample of this odd liquid that seemed to electrify and yet deteriorate anything that it touches, is still being investigated. And that is where we start our scene.
So, Saoirse has grabbed Jason and gotten permission from Bites the Week to take him with her off Sept, and take him back to the Pack's apartment to compare notes and see where they're going to go next. So yeah, Saoirse's got Jason and walking into the door. What is the sight that she sees before her when she gets in the door of the apartment?
When the door opens, Aiden kind of half brutally wakes up, kind of sits forward a bit, just rubbing his eyes. After all, he had a long night being fucking battling leeches in a crazy, crazy nightclub, so he's a bit catching up on lost hours. He just kind of shoots up, like, oh. Kind of knocks over probably a few things as he's picking them up.
And yeah, 10 Point has been curled half on top of him on the couch, out cold, as soon as he stopped moving. Well, even when he was getting up periodically, just kind of grumbling and going promptly back to sleep the second he sat back down. So yeah, he will probably be more alert, more responsive. So as he is kind of going, "Buh," she will be rubbing at her face. She's probably got what? It's been a good bit of the day since they came in. So she's got like the very beginning of velvet covered antlers kind of poking up out of her ridiculous bush of hair. But hey, it's not nearly as dark under her eyes as it was earlier. Yay.
Good. Saoirse will be glad to see that, and she'll come in and shut the door and say, sorry to wake you both, but I brought Jason here so that we could kind of talk about where to go next with the for lack of a better term, the crab people stuff.
Right. Yeah. No
He
problem.
gives kind of like a little sheepish wave.
Yeah. Let's do that. Kind of like get up and make like coffee, make a pot of coffee very quickly.
10 Point just flumps into the warm spot and just doesn't like just straight stay flat out on the couch. She'll kind of scooch herself to assimilate his warm spot and open up a little more room in the process, seeing as she's no longer, laying lengthwise. And we'll be kind of rubbing at her face, pushing back her hair, which is a futile battle, but Jason, out of nowhere, will produce, it's blue, a hair tie. One of the nice ones with like the fabric covering, not the crappy all elastic ones. It's probably like Goody brand or something. Just kind of offers it towards her. And yeah, she'll kind of blink because hey, he's here. He is not at the door anymore. When did that happen? So she looks a little dazed initially, but accepts it without much thought and kind of bobs her head and thanks and promptly goes about just kind of, the quick and messy style. It just kind of gets it out of her face, winds it all back into the hair tie, and it must be a good one because it does not die a terrible death in the process. My hair's getting kind of shaggy, so I had one of the kinfolk pick them for me, but I think I'm still at barrette stage. And yeah, she'll kind of smirk faintly in amusement. Fair enough, Andre. Thank you. And again, goes about like kind of nudging herself just a little more properly upright instead of reclined.
Aiden just place the mugs down, coffee pot down, lights a cigarette, sits down immediately. So, what have we got then? What's our next objective then? Looks specific at Susan Jason, rubbing his forehead.
Well, you told me earlier that he wanted to compare notes, so I figured we could do that with all of us.
Well, I don't really have a lot of notes to actually compare, but
she shrugs. I don't really either, but we'll see what we've got.
Every little bit could make it easier. And yeah, 10 Point stretches out to get one of those mugs of coffee and will actually likewise echo Aiden in lighting a cigarette. I'm still not sure what to do with and she'll point because she is not carrying that goo around with her. It's at least moderately explosive or burny or acidic or something. It's bad. And she does not want to give it a jostling. So there is probably up on the mantle where they have a number of things like, human skulls. That's fine. It's just the small Tupperware container of ooze. Jason gives it the side eye. What is that? I don't know.
We're not entirely sure, but that's what we found.
I know that if you shake it or hit it,
It burns through pretty much everything.
Oh, okay then.
And that is why it lives there.
Yes.
Saoirse nods like yes, and we don't mess with it.
Firm nod.
Yep, firm nod. Like, mm-hmm.
So, did we get anything out of the list? Out of the stuff we found?
All I got was the name Richard Reynolds.
What exactly is this list, anyway?
There is definitely more information than just Richard Reynolds on the name.
Okay, well, that was all you had told me, so that was all I could find. There was actually nothing written in my blue book about it, so.
You look at the it had basic information. You have height, weight, age, blood type, and you have several notes on his page. Also his test subject number.
Oh, okay.
Okay. His test subject number is 17B.
All right. So she will amend her statement. Okay, so I think, given what I got from, I think that this is a list of people that they were experimenting on. I think is a good guess. And she shows him what the information that she has.
Can 10 Point readily hop up to produce the first set of papers that we got?
Yeah.
Or all the stuff we got copies of? So she'll... Well, saying hop is a little bit too enthusiastic, but she does manage to slip up off the couch and retrieve a packet of papers. In fact, we'll say they have the binder because they're the only ones left. They can have the whole binder. And she will produce that and lay it out on the coffee table and then fold herself back down into this nice, comfy, warm spot on this end of the couch.
And Jason will settle down as well so that they can kind of poke through it together. How long would it take to actually just read the entire binder cover to cover?
Not that long. Well, I say not that long. Probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But it's a pretty sizable medical journal.
Okay. Ignoring the information inside it, is there any kind of marking on the outside that might indicate where it is from?
Yes.
Okay. Because Jason will like open it and then close it and then just like start turning it around and squinting at this binder. Assuming
Yes.
he's allowed to hold it.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Stop him.
On the side, it is a binder from Magadon Pharmaceuticals.
How do you spell that? Just for sheer hilarity. Thank you.
And, madam, now that Jason is
Indeed.
looking at the book, and you are looking at the
Yes.
notes, you will notice that all of the doctor notes, where each individual patient was, notes on where they were as far as the tests were concerned,
Yes.
you will notice that they are signed Dr. T. Bajan.
Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason will kind of like look at, page 1. And he's doing that like finger reading thing. Because God bless him, he is not intelligence 4. And his finger kind of trails down. He's clearly skimming, and then it gets to where the doctor signed the report, because they all do, and it stops. And he flips to the next page. And immediate skim down to the signature. And looks at it. Next page. Next page.
It's the same signature over and over.
So
And he
by
kind
the
of
time
stops and like closes the binder.
would Saoirse be able to pick up the pattern of him looking at that signature
Oh,
at the
easily.
bottom of every page? Okay. And she'll look at
Very
him.
easily.
Is there a significance of that to you?
That is the name that was said over the radio before they shot Richard. He's in charge.
Oh my.
But I've heard it before.
Um,
And I'm trying. I know I've heard that name before.
Katie and Saoirse and Aiden, you were on the boat too,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, we all were,
right?
except for Jason.
Key, go ahead and roll me base intelligence to see if you guys can remember this.
Okay, I have eidetic memory, so do I get a reduced diff for that?
Oh, if you have eidetic memory, then
Or do I just auto remember it?
yeah.
So
You just
since I do not have
pretty much-
eidetic memory,
Well, you were not there.
I'm assuming. But Jason, so where he heard it was a long time ago. Well, several years anyway.
2 successes.
With the specialty 3.
What specialty?
Encyclopedic knowledge. So calling up stored information,
Yeah.
things like lores
Okay.
and memory.
Okie dokie. 3.
Should I
3
also
and
roll
2.
to see if
Yeah.
Jason remembers?
This isn't
Yes.
for.
We are rolling
Well,
for a different
he's
thing.
trying to remember where he's heard the name.
You can try, but it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
You
It's
did
going to
get
be
a 10.
difficulty 8.
I got 1 success.
Did you want me
With
to
one
roll or no?
success. Who got 1 success?
Jason.
Okay. With difficulty 8 for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He got a 10.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. First, I'm going to go with Aiden and Katie, Aiden and 10 Point and Saoirse. And you guys remember that a video was also found.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
Right. Yes.
Do we have it? Because I know Felix did. And are we saying ominous dominus? We got the plot cookies?
Felix
Because it would
was
have been on
able to
Felix's
get. Yes, Felix was able to get a copy, not the actual physical video.
Yeah.
But a copy. And also, you guys can have his phone because I want this plot to continue.
If nothing else, he
Yes.
could have easily sent one of us the file. We all have.
Yeah, yeah.
phones.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, and Jason, you remember that name
Yes.
from when you were in the war? That means something to you. When you were stationed in Afghanistan
After the earthquake.
after the earthquake, you heard that name. That name means something.
So it's going to take a minute to figure it out. And so I'll let them have their realization first, if you would like, while I pull up my notes to make sure that I get this right.
If nobody else protests, 10 Point will just randomly blink a few times, perk up, and then, much as she went to retrieve the book, we'll probably just retrieve a thumb drive.
Yep. Hell, you could have his phone. I don't care.
Or retrieves the whole phone. I mean,
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
imagine that collectively through the pack link, they all would have had the same realization at the same time. Oh yeah, there's a fucking video.
There's a fucking video.
Let's watch that video. That would be good.
And while they're running around, Jason's like frowning, and gears are cranking. And there's this kind of pause. Nah, that wouldn't make any sense.
You guys open the video up.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we've all seen it, but yeah, we'll play it again. Jason's there now, so
Okay, Jason, you don't
Yes.
unless you're, they're doing this while you're trying to think.
Mhm.
So a voice sort of floats towards you. My name is Dr. Tahir Bijan. This is Project Crawler. There's a bit of static when he says, this is test subject number. Bit of static. You don't get the number just yet. But it continues. This is successful form transference. And you guys, again, you see a man chained. You see him go up with a one of those handheld, sort of futuristic needle guns, inoculation guns, whatever you want to say. Pokes it into the guy's neck. There's a scream. He changes form into the big crab thing. He's unchained. Test subject 17B. Change back. And the form pauses for a second.
There is a crunching
And-
noise as Jason does something unforgivable to the arm of the couch. He's otherwise
And,
not moving.
Yeah, this is when you'll probably be able to see it. You walk over and you see it, and you see the form shift, much like how you guys shift into Lupus, Hispo, Krinos. Much like how you guys shift and shifts back, and you see Richard's face.
considering the crunching noise, let it be said that 10 Point is on standby to rescue the phone if necessary.
The phone is fine.
Gain a rage and roll it, please.
Yeah, Saoirse's on standby to stop a frenzy if need be. God.
What is today? It is
New moon.
Okay, so good. We're good.
So
I
Jason
think,
is expecting everything that they go over today to be very difficult. I am expending a willpower for this.
I mean, are you
Okay.
even up to 5 dice?
Yes.
Okay. You pretty fucking mad.
we're mad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
That's why he just broke your couch.
that's fine. We'll replace it.
He will.
that
Is the
arm is
video still
shattered.
playing, or was that it?
That's it.
He will very slowly, very mechanically offer the phone back to 10 Point, and then look down at his other hand with the chunk of couch.
It is sunk 2 inches into the couch.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. We needed a new one anyway.
At some point, we'll actually hand off the phone again if either Aiden or Saoirse, responds as she kind of holds it out.
Saoirse will take it.
And when Jason does pry his fingers back out of the poor abused couch,
Very
we'll
carefully.
actually we'll hold a hand out so that she can make sure that he's not, harboring massive chunks of wood or something from the framework.
There's probably some splinters or something. He'll kind of hold it. He'll let her take his hand.
And yeah, she will just go, as if this is the most normal thing in the world. We'll just kind of collect his hand and carefully pluck out bits of wood and whatnot before he has a chance to heal over
Nails
them.
are bleeding. Nails are bleeding. Cuticles have been torn, but they're knitting together.
It doesn't make any sense, but I've met him before. 5 years ago in Afghanistan, there was a really big earthquake in Nangarhar. A lot of people died. I was part of the rescue operations, pulling people out of wreckage and that kind of thing. He came to identify 2 of the bodies. It was a woman and a little boy. But I don't know why he's here.
Were they related to him?
It was his family, yeah.
There's just a faint frown, and once she is sure that there's nothing else stuck in his hand, we'll give it back to him and give an odd kind of upwards gesture. Because he's still in Hamid and is a Hamid. Get yourself back together, Henry. And we'll glance at the other 2.
So we have a name.
Saoirse will look at Aiden and be like,
We have a name and a face. We could at least try and see where that leads.
you could,
And Jason will actually he'll reach into his back pocket, pull out his phone, and just Google.
You're pulling out your phone, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and roll for slip sideways.
Oh. Okay. What do I even roll for that?
It's wits occult difficulty 7 to avoid making the shift.
All right. All right. Does cool-headed count towards that?
Yeah, but if you get a 10, you just need 1 success to avoid.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a botch.
That's a botch.
That's a botch.
That's a botch. Go ahead and make that roll at -1 difficulty. So instead of a where are we? We're in your pack house, so that would be city. So 6. Go ahead, make that roll at difficulty 5. to pass
Consequently.
into the Umbra.
Gnosis.
Gnosis.
Or, what did I say?
You said
Mhm.
Gnosis?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure. Dip 5. No,
Dip 5.
no successes.
Okay. you do
Bam!
feel...
Jason kind of like
just
lurches as he pulls out the phone. But nothing happens.
What's the visible cue for this, Rob? Because I'm curious. Was there like what visible cue was there to some shit? Just something weird
Okay,
kind of
so
almost
the way-
happened.
The way Slip Sideways works is when you're in a stressful situation.
No,
like,
like
she
I
just had
understand
a
the
friend-
mechanics. I just want to know what it looked like in character.
When you're right. Oh, what it looked like in character. It looked like he looked into his phone, and you know that moment when you're looking into your phone and you're about to turn the screen on, but you can still see your face.
Mhm.
Right? It into it, and then you see the signs of somebody that just like smacked their head against the gauntlet.
10 Point is familiar with this because she has been watching Jason attempt to cross the gauntlet repeatedly over the past month and a half.
Yeah, her brow knits in concern, and she will kind of have to assume probably that he was like, "Fuck this shit," I'm stressed and I'm gonna poof or something, and kind of like reaches out to put a steadying hand on his shoulder.
And he kind of blinks and shakes his head, kind of like a cat that you've just squirted with a water gun. And then we'll unlock his phone and start typing in the name. What happens when you Google Dr. Tahir Bijan, possible Boolean operator, New York City?
No.
You never know. Sometimes people hold down normal jobs while they're being crazy mad scientists. It was worth a try.
You don't get much. You do get the news report that lists his family as casualties. That's what you do get. And then you get another. Is out of Dubai. And it's an obituary.
When is it dated?
It is dated to 3 years ago.
Cause of death?
Mauling.
Blink.
In fact, the obituary states that there were a number of victims leading into the teens.
Blink, blink. And he's reading this slowly with this like weird squinty expression on his face, like this makes no sense. And then he will attempt to see if he can find a news article about the mauling, because that should have made the papers.
I'm going to need a computers for that.
It's terrible.
I'm going to need an intelligence computers.
That's totally fair.
Oakley dokley.
What's my diff?
Your diff is I want to say 8 because you're not searching. You aren't searching for anything that has to do with American. You're searching for
And he has to find
an obscure.
Yeah, the BBC might have it. Al Jazeera America might carry it, actually. Okay, that's 1 success.
1 success.
1 success.
You managed to pull up a couple of photos. Not an article, but a couple of photos. And there are quite a few bodies. And it looks like it happened in a subway station.
Is the resolution high enough to look at any of the injuries?
Or
faces?
No. Nope.
It's just a bunch of dead bodies and blood everywhere.
Bunch of dead bodies and blood everywhere.
Can I be nosy and like peer over his shoulder?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, he's totally like.
I don't think he's
doesn't make any sense.
Hey,
Yeah, no,
hey,
he's
Rob,
sharing everything.
Is there any chance I can make some sort of roll to go, golly, that looks suspiciously like a first change, essentially?
Because
Not with
let's
the
face
information
it,
that
it's too
you have.
late.
Admittedly, it's not the information. It was more like if there's photos or anything.
There is photos, but you can't really see.
Okay. It's kind of the like, is there a whirlwind of violence that probably starts right about there in the middle, and they're just bodies cast out in every direction?
It looks to have been quite violent. There's about 10 bodies in the photo.
I mean, that's an acceptable first change number. That's fine. Yes, we've done worse. At least it was in the station and not like at least one person who mauled the contents of an entire subway car. So, yeah, she'll be leaning over and peering and kind of head tilting. And we'll point, but has the sense now, because she has a touch screen, to not poke the phone and ruin everything forever. And just kind of glances up and asks, "Are there more pictures?"
And he'll flip through the only ones that he's been able to find. Which is probably 17 different versions with varying resolution, most of which are terrible. One of them in black and white. One of them claiming that
they're all in black and white.
NASA's fault.
That sounds about right.
But you get that one odd photo of like an ice cream cone.
Someone decided to be all artistic and take a picture of something totally normal in the midst of the carnage. Look at how fucking artistic it is.
Yes.
But anyway, you can search by images. Nothing really comes up as far as more information or better photos. It just happens to be, you just get animal attack in Dubai subway. It's more or less what you get.
Someone's pet leopard got loose again.
There's a blink.
They blamed it on a tiger.
Oh, a tiger.
Yeah, Tempo was about to be like, what kind of big animals are, points at the word Dubai, because she probably can't read that. That is a strange fucking word.
It could be just about anything. There's a lot of people with a lot of money and not a lot of common sense in that city.
It's more that, like, it's not that she can't read. It's just that her exposure to the outside world is pretty fucking limited.
Saoirse has a degree in cultural anthropology. Would that be able to glean her anything about Dubai?
There's a lot of people with a lot of money and not a lot of
There's
common
a
sense.
lot of people with a lot of money
Alright,
and not
yeah.
a lot of common sense.
Yeah, that's fair. She just nods in agreement.
Aiden's just gonna use Pulse of the Prey on the name while they're all chatting
Right.
about Dubai. Aiden's just like, whatever, and just we will try and activate Pulse
That's
of the
what
Prey.
Saoirse was gonna suggest in the first place. That's why she looked at Aiden like, "Do your magic."
And just like, you guys. Yeah, he's just waiting. Yeah, he just was while they were all pottering around Jason's phone. He'll activate Pulse of the Prey.
Okay, give me a second.
And while that second is going on, 10 Point will be well, asking things like, did they actually, because she is now concerned, she has seen Face stealing things before, and will be asking, like, did they actually identify the body, or was it maybe his body, or is it definitely his body?
I can't really find a lot of information on it. I was going to be a mechanical engineer, not a computer engineer. But, I mean, if he was mauled badly enough, it would have been impossible to tell without, like, blood typing the mess. And that's the kind of gestures. With that many bodies, that would be hard.
Okay, sir, I'm going to need you to roll Perception Enigmas.
All right, what's my diff?
The diff.
The question is he hiding?
Hmm?
I suppose the question is he actively hiding?
Well, that's why he has to roll.
Yep. I don't know what the diff is anyway. I think I fail.
The diff is 8.
Oh, I'm gonna fail.
You failed.
Yep,
No.
you failed.
Then just frown and just nod to himself. All right. Do we know any of those? You pull over the files and we'll look at everybody. I can't get a fix on them, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way.
What about the other names in the folder?
We kind of look at the rest of them.
If we've got like how many total test subjects are there
There are 18 test
in the binder?
subjects.
18 test subjects in the binder. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try the last one.
And we got
Yeah.
he kind of flips through. We've got descriptions of everybody.
Yes,
Aiden
you
knows-
do. And names.
Aiden will scroll through right past Jason's husband because I believe his number was 17B.
Yep.
Is there a 17C or D, or does it just work like 17A, 17B, or is it then 18A, 18B? Is it that type of format?
No.
He'll just go to the very next subject then and then try because, well, we saw Richard, so
18F.
18F, yes. That's the one he will try and pulse.
You are trying to pulse the name Sarah Gales.
Yes.
And you get a ping.
For Jason, who's actually never seen Aiden do this before, his eyes will close. He'll trace his fingers over the name, and then the eyes will just suddenly open like a predator after just seeing something, and goes, "There you are."
It's a weird look, but Jason does not question.
I've got a ping.
Tempo will just get up and go to retrieve her swag.
Give me 1 second.
And we'll, in fact, pick up the bag, glance over to where either Shirley is leaned against the wall, and kind of shoot a questioning glance and make a gesture towards the both of them, like hand on the flap of her bag.
You turn and look at her. Do you think you can keep the veil safe with the grow and regrow?
Sorry. My neighbor is bitching at her dog. My
She
window's
kind of,
open, so
yeah. And she
Jason
winces.
Hesitate as well.
It's up to you, 10 Point. Do you think you can? Do you think you'll be fine, or do you want to not take the risk?
No, they'll have to come off. It'll just hurt.
Just nod.
Wait a second. The last time we went charging off because we got an idea of where something was, it almost ended really badly.
Who says anything about charging? Zayden is just standing up. This is called tracking, Jason. You'll flap open 10 Point's take and take out the hacksaw.
He nods.
Sure,
Sorry, yeah. Just
That's the risk that we have to take, but we have to track the lead.
Last time we didn't have Aiden. He won't be seen unless he wants to.
And she
Trisha nods at that too.
passes over the hacksaw, and unless either one has given her a negatory gesture, will take either shillelagh and just feed them down into the bag.
Nope. No objection from Saoirse.
Hack the antlers off.
Yeah, in this case, they will actually have to do things like make a trip into the bathroom and whatnot, because the velvet is what's conveying blood to the growing antlers, and it will be a lot messier and it will hurt.
oh, it's gonna be a hot mess.
it is going to be a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very
Somebody roll
possible
me,
that 10 Point is flat out going to be like, sit
Somebody
herself.
roll me dexterity medicine to do this properly, so it's not that much of a hot mess.
I mean,
Right.
do you want that to be for the sawing, or because like 10 Point's got medicine, but she can't saw her own antlers?
So does Jason.
Yeah, it's
I got
for
it.
the sawing.
I got that medicine. I get 2
Oh,
successes.
We're good.
You're good.
Contrary to normal, there are definitely sounds of pain and protest, but before too long they will heal over, as it were, and 10 Point will rinse her hair out because it is now kind of delicious.
Netty.
And yeah, so yeah, she'll turn on the shower head and bow her head under it and make more noises of protest because they haven't healed over yet. And then and yeah, we'll eventually reemerge with soggy hair and not looking especially happy, but looking
What did we
decidedly
say?
human.
Have we decided like if you're taking damage for the velvet?
No one has ever commented on it. There is like some blood loss and it hurts. If you would like her to take damage, feel free.
Take a lethal
Yeah, very well.
for the velvet.
Seems reasonable.
That is perfectly reasonable. So yeah. So she will come out
Aiden comes out
soggier
washing his
and less
hands.
pleased.
He just comes out washing his hands and drying them off, and then just puts the towel down in the wash basket, and we'll walk out whistling.
You can always roll to regenerate that. That's just fine.
I mean, outside of combat, doesn't it automatically?
Yeah, pretty much within an
Okay.
hour, I think. Or
I
10
was told that
minutes or
lethal
something.
outside of combat went at the same rate as bashing within a couple
Oh,
of
okay.
seconds. Yeah, it knits pretty quick,
Right.
so it's not an issue outside of combat.
More of a concentration thing, maybe.
Well, let's go.
Jason kind of nods. Clearly does not look super confident about this or super happy, but at the same time, like this is important. So be a little weird if he was super confident and super happy.
To the Aidmobile.
Off they go.
Yup. Off they go.
Off they go. Okay.
Huddles in the back seat with a mild headache.
Have you ever tried bolt cutters?
Hmm.
Blink?
Raising an eyebrow. I thought about it.
I feel like it would be faster.
It's getting her to stay still. That's the issue.
There
She
is.
squirmed.
I was going to say, there's like a stubborn look of protest because up until this time, good sir, she has never squirmed. It doesn't usually hurt. In fact, she usually braces her head for people. She definitely squirmed this time, though. So yeah, there's just a very stubborn, like, nose-wrinkled glance at the driver's seat. Kind of the immature, do not look.
And then it kind of stops. Oh, they might splinter. That'd be bad.
Yes, there you are. My lovely, lovely book.
I don't actually know a lot about Antler, now that I think about it.
They're fairly solid. They're solid all the way through. So, no, I've never had them splinter.
She stabbed someone with it before.
Jason looks very approving to hear that, actually.
There's a vague nod.
Most people don't approve, but it works.
Definitely works when you don't have any other choice.
I'm a big believer in pragmatism.
It seems like the best method considering the situation.
And there's another, like, little glance at the back of the driver's seat, like, yeah, sure, don't tell the whole story. Make it sound like I just charged someone with my head for no reason.
I mean, Aiden just says they're driving along. We did airdrop into combat, so, you know, 10 Point was quite the mighty steed. Weren't you, 10 Point? Grin over at her playfully.
That is
You know
one.
what? All things considered, she like pokes her tongue out, but doesn't seem especially fussed.
Airdrop?
That is one thing
Yep.
that I do miss about Hummingbird, was being able to fly like that. Drop people.
And there's just this look on Jason's face, like it's never even occurred to him that people might actually be able to fly. Although he did see the Ronin go bouncing off through the air.
Right?
Flying.
Saoirse she'll look at Jason and she'll say, my first pack, our totem was Hummingbird, and one of Hummingbird's boons is flight in the Umbra. So me and my pack mates would grab up other Garu and kind of airdrop them in.
Pretty sound tactic.
Worked beautifully. I like to dive bomb my targets. She nods.
She gets like the consoling pat.
There's always hair sleep.
I know.
It's much cooler. It's much
I
cooler.
need to learn.
Aiden will say.
I need to learn that one actually.
One point is aghast. Just aghast. Because
I know.
sleep is fabulous. How could you not?
Right?
Rode a T-Rex shoes now to look over at Jason as he's turning a corner.
What?
Point
right.
gives like the shudder because so many teeth.
You'll notice that What is that noise? Very weird noise. Anyway,
I'm pouring whiskey.
Aiden. Oh, okay. Aiden will notice that your ping is taking you off towards Coney Island.
Link down that to the others as well. Looks like we're going to Coney.
Is that bad?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's just interesting.
And in fact, you get there with no real difficulty. The night, it's still going on. It's like 6 o'clock. There are people there. Rides are going off. You got people.
All the lights are lighting
food.
I want a funnel cake.
Yeah, pretty much. I want a funnel cake. I want to ride the. I want to ride the teacups.
I want to ride the hurler. You vomit. I know, that's why it's called the hurler.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, that's fantastic.
So when they
So
pull
you guys
up,
get to the boardwalk.
yeah. Yeah, Aiden will turn and will look over at the rest of them, keep an eye out. There's still people here. Don't do anything stupid. He begins to follow along the ping.
Point immediately, unless people like shuffle her around, becomes the creamy nougat center of the group because people are weird and they're so okay with touching and she's not. And having them around her just less touching.
Yes. Saoirse
It's not
is
even touching at that point. It's just like, it's literally like
Horrible crowded jostling.
horrible crowded jostling. And somebody has currently 6 rage?
5.
5? Yeah.
how crowded?
Oh, it doesn't matter at this point. The waves of fuck off that are coming off of you.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to worry about my claustrophobia flaw.
Not with Jason there, Jesus.
Yeah.
He is
And
parting
it's not-
people like the Red Sea.
And I think claustrophobia is a different thing than like agoraphobia.
Well, I take it to mean any time that she feels trapped. So it would be by crowds, by any
Insufficient
sort of
room
small
to move.
space. Yeah, insufficient room.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
But no, with Jason there with currently 5 rage, and yeah,
Aiden up
we
ahead
got
with
2
some more.
4s and a-
I mean, Aiden
got
has
2
4,
4s and a
Saoirse has
5.
4. Yeah, so we're good.
Point has tactically
Forward and a
positioned
five.
herself in the middle
Coney
of the
Island is
angry
suddenly
people.
far less crowded.
Yes.
We're just going to put 10 point in the middle.
It is not far less crowded. I will say that you guys notice that the cops are there, are definitely watching you.
Oh.
Kind of hints to what Aiden was saying is don't do anything fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is he just walking along?
Don't do
casually.
anything fucking
Don't.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay calm, stay natural as much as possible.
Jason mostly looks worried about 10 point. Look at the big bad man worrying about the itty bitty tiny dear lady. Dear sweet lady.
Yes, Deer Bay is very tactically situated and much happier that way because bumping into one of them doesn't unnerve her. She's made physical contact with all of them before. She knows who they are. It's fine.
Aiden will try and put the trusty cap on 10 points heads as well. Just,
Oh,
you know,
God
just to-
damn it. She was so happy she got out without the cap.
Yeah.
Oh goddamn!
Where the fuck does he get a
Not
cap
this
from?
time.
We're already there.
Brought it with him. He always brings
Son
the
of a-
cap out. Ritual.
God, she suddenly just looks so fucking peeved.
What does this thing look like?
It's a rundown New York Yankees hat.
And it stinks.
Just
Oh.
stinks.
It's just this old beat up cap, but it's one of those things where it's very obvious to Jason that her poof levels are more than ample enough to cover any remaining antler that may or may not exist protruding from her dome. However,
Oh yeah.
comma, pause for effect, this
Just in
fucking
case.
baseball cap,
Mm-hmm.
which considering the way she dresses, sticks out more than her antlers do.
I would say that Saoirse probably also carries extra hats in her swag, just
Just to be a
Jason
troll.
has a knit hat that someone
Just
gave
Something
him.
nice, something with a flower on it, something.
No. It's tradition
So-
now at this stage. No,
so Saoirse will
Hey,
hand
she's
her
ready.
one with kitty ears on it. Be like, here, wear this one.
You know what? She does. She gets offered
10
an
Point now has a
alternative.
pink pussy hat.
She does,
She
and
does.
she doesn't give a shit. She shoves the fucking
One of the
Yankees cap.
ones where you press on the the dangly bits and the ears like sort of clap together.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a crocheted.
Yeah.
It's a crocheted.
Yeah.
No, this
No,
is
it's a
just a
crocheted
crocheted hat. Like cat-eared hat. And yeah, 10 Point proceeds to take that Yankees cap and whisk it off in favor of this one, and it goes into the swag. Never to emerge
no.
again.
Aiden just stares. Aiden just stares at you going, I see how it is. Just keeps walking.
Oh,
She affects the most innocent look. The most.
It's
Saoirse
fine.
rolls her eyes. Packling
it's
stain.
fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, Aiden just keep walking.
He turns around and he's
Jason
like, I
is-
see how it is, and he gets the fucking doe eyes.
Jason is
I will say,
twitchily observing their surroundings.
in the
Uh,
artificial light, the pink hat and the red hair just clash just
They do not look good.
so
Beautifully.
oppositely.
Yeah.
so good though. So good.
Oh wait, she has been rendered soggy and whatnot. Switch to that one, just to make the red more obvious.
So, but yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to say something.
Look, the hat talk was super serious. Very engaging.
We are searching.
Totally.
We are attempting
Train of
to
thought
not
just
upset
went-
the cops
Yes.
who are
You
staring at
attempting
us.
to not upset the cops who are watching you, who are providing a modicum of safety in this.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Aiden,
You
your ping is going to the back of the boardwalk.
Ah. All right. Is it more crowded where we're going, or is it getting starting to the lessen, or is it just still crowds everywhere?
You're heading towards the Ferris wheel.
Oh shit!
And in fact, when you get there, there's a young woman working at the ticket booth.
Does she have a name tag?
She does have a name tag.
Does it say Sarah?
No, it says Beth,
Fuck her then.
Ooh.
but you're pinging.
Mm-hmm. Wait, and the ping is stopped at the woman, I'm assuming, or is it just?
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, Aiden will turn, almost like like swing, and then turn right in front of the woman and just smile broadly. Hello.
Yes. Can I help you? Do you need tickets?
Turns and looks at 10 Point and Saoirse. Yeah, my sisters were, well, they're a bit nervous and shy and asking, how much are they?
It's $1. It's $1 per ride ticket, but it's $15 for 20 tickets.
You look down at the name tag and look up. It's a very pretty name.
Thank you.
Just nods to himself and he'll look over at the others and through the pack then going, that's her. But he has this big smile on his face at the other two. Like he's enjoying himself or something.
Jason is staring around like a complete tourist.
I'm waiting to hear from what his packmates are going to say.
I mean, Temp Point doesn't know what the fuck to do. I mean, sure. It's lies and slander.
And the pack link, Saoirse will say, well, her name on the paper said Sarah. Her name tag says Beth. Her name could be Sarah Beth.
Or it could just be a lie.
That too could be an alias.
Whatever it is, if we're paying or not. Saoirse, you chat to her. You're the people person.
Fine. She steps up, smiles, and she'll dig cash out of her bag. And how much was it for 20?
15.
All right, give me four packs.
Does she
of them.
look nervous at all?
Yeah, does she look nervous?
She does look a bit nervous.
Does she look as nervous as she ought to with all four of them standing there?
I don't know.
Can I roll?
Yes, you can roll perception
Yeah.
empathy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that.
That's fantastic. How about 4 successes?
What? Who? What?
Who?
What?
Yeah, so 2, 2, 3, 4.
She doesn't look overly nervous. She just looks nervous, genuinely. She's genuinely nervous, but it's a slight nervousness. It's more of a these are new
It's
people,
not-
and the cops are watching them. I see this.
Right, but it's not how she ought to be acting with 4 werewolves standing around her, 3 of them with higher rage than most people would have willpower. So,
I mean, she doesn't look like she's ready to bolt, but she's
Right.
watching the cops watching you.
She is a sensible woman.
So through the pack link, Saoirse's gonna convey that she is not nearly as nervous as she should be, but she'll pay for 2 packs of 20 tickets at $30. Why
Okay.
not?
Meanwhile, we'll do something regrettable. Because I am under the impression this can be an area target. Because I'm pretty sure I know the answer on her. But let's just see what happens. This can't possibly end in tears. I'm just gonna roll these 6 dice.
Sense worm.
Six
See
dice
how
for
much
Sense Worm?
shit and see how much shit hits me.
You're rolling Senseworm on Coney Island.
Holy Jesus, sweet God.
I mean, she
Oh.
knows that like statin is bad, but she doesn't know anything about Coney Island.
Coney Island's pretty bad. Pretty wormy.
Mm-hmm.
You look at her, though, and oh, sweet Christ, the Antichrist is giving you ride tickets.
Oh God, let's kill it with fireworm level worm taint, isn't it?
Is she the only person who pings as like the devil?
She's the only person that you get those 5s as successes.
Yeah, she actually, she's still doing kind of like Jason, because let's be fair, she's never been to Coney Island. But on one of her glances, she'll ping it, and she actually kind of, yeah, and she's not standing like right there at the booth. She's standing back, but yeah, she'll kind of startle almost, just because Jesus.
Like, you kicked on Sense Worm, and well, you were smelling, cotton candy and funnel cakes and hot dogs. The glorious, glorious dirty water dogs of Coney Island. You're now smelling a literal dumpster, and there is an open sewer line in front of you.
Yeah, she kind of looks briefly as though she's been smacked, almost. She just kind of startles. And
Jason kind of rests a hand on her shoulder. You okay? I know this is a lot of people for you.
And yeah, through the link, it's just there's the wordless. God bless Packlink for being a wordless thing for the most part. Yeah, there's just the holy bejesus, that is Satan essentially being conveyed. But yeah, Jason is thankfully a grounding force at the moment, and she kind of hastily nods, as one does when they are saying they're okay, but they're not especially. And, tucks some of her hair back under this ridiculous cap and behind her ears, and just, yeah, nods hastily.
I'll be fine.
I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Who's rolling awareness? I see you.
Ignore me.
That's a pretty good roll, buddy.
It is a pretty good
Is it
roll.
good or is it bad?
It's.
I have a feeling it's bad.
I get the feeling we're about to see a reaction from someone.
Who's paying for the tickets right now? Saoirse, right?
Saoirse is, yeah. Saoirse's front and center.
Saoirse.
Yeah, 10 Point is
Saoirse,
actually standing back and away from the two of them,
go ahead.
back with Jason, while the other two moved forward.
Go ahead and roll me a perception alertness, difficulty 7.
Okay, it'll be 5 for me.
Yep.
Five successes. Holy shit.
Jesus.
So, you manage to see the mites on the tips of her eyelashes that are constant. No.
Right? I mean, God. She sees everything.
But no.
Tell me about your
What
owl
you do
swooping in
see
for the kill.
is you are paying for the tickets, and you see Beth/Sarah's eyes immediately dart towards 10 Point, and her pupils narrow before they immediately return back and look at you. It's a flash.
And that flash that she sees automatically commits it to her memory and sends that through the pack link.
You can't send images through the pack link.
No? Okay. Well, she'll
We are stopping that.
okay. Then she will say through the pack link her pupils dilated and looked at 10 Point.
Not dilated, narrowed.
Or narrowed, yeah.
Like, narrowed as in, like, the pupils themselves narrowed to, like, slit-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they narrowed. Her pupils narrowed, looked at 10 Point, and then looked back at me. But she smiles to Sarah/Beth, pays for the tickets.
And because of the successes, You also notice that she presses a button.
Saoirse will say she's pressing a button.
Well then, Aiden just puts his hammer and says, "We don't need to pay for them. We're just gonna go."
No, she already handed you. She already handed
We
you
have
the
the
tickets.
Yeah, we have them.
She just-
So we're like, she'll say, "Thank you, have a nice day," and we'll enjoy ourselves. And yeah, they're gonna.
Thank you. So, yeah, you guys walk off.
Yup.
Not all of the rides are super scary, I promise. Come on.
Yeah, for
You'll
what
have
it's
fun.
worth, since 10 Point does have the pack link and Jason doesn't, the cue he's getting, which isn't much, is like he went and put the hand on her shoulder. She has since reached up and set her hand atop his, and especially come note of the button and everything else, is kind of squeezing the hand in an anxious fashion because she just became the bait. Awesome.
And Jason is still periodically looking around because there's lights everywhere and police officers
You're looking
are
around?
total strangers.
You're looking
Yes.
around? None of the cops have moved.
That's good.
Well then, just
Uh,
walking quite merrily. Well then,
Okay.
Well,
Where are you walking?
as they're walking, wherever they're walking, will
Where
gesture.
are you walking?
She will just
Like in
gesture
what
Jason
direction?
down enough to kind of murmur into his ear to catch him up.
I imagine that we probably to thwart off any suspicion, actually maybe into the park itself.
Okay.
That would make the most
Maybe
sense to me.
Towards one of the rides that you can get out of if there's an emergency.
Yeah.
Ooh, good point.
We are not going on the spaceship.
No.
Although that thing is really fun. I love it.
I love
So
all
some sort of
rides.
ride where there would be like emergency exits along the way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go into the love tunnel.
Please,
Shit.
can we go into the
Get on the
tunnel of
boats!
love?
Yeah,
Everyone
let's
get on the fucking boats.
Let's get on the boats.
Hashtag no metas.
Aww. Walks away kicking rocks.
Wrap it before you
Aw.
tap it.
Oh my god.
You must be this tall and of these breeds to ride these rides.
We'll just go play over there in the kitty corner. I'm gonna climb on some little ropes that are about 2 feet off the ground. Yay.
No.
Yes, clearly the Tunnel of the Love is the perfect answer because it's dark.
Okay. You guys pass by, and as you pass by one of the a couple of rides. You're going towards a line. Are you actually going to the Tunnel of Love? The
I mean,
boat
they
ride?
just spent $30 on tickets. We might as well do something.
Right?
Couples boat ride. Okay.
Oh god, wait. Yeah, crab people boat ride.
Oh, you
Awesome
know,
plan.
that's
Aiden-
probably not the best plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Crowded people, boatyard, it's dark in there.
Mhm.
I've never
That's-
actually been through one of those, so I just assumed that they were fake boats on like train tracks.
They are fake boats, but they're fake
Still
boats
in water.
in the
It's still in
dark.
water.
Oh,
They're
okay.
about like two people across.
Well, I mean,
you know.
yes.
Aiden's
This is
going
the
to go into
tunnel
the
of
hall
love,
mirrors.
not the tunnel of orgies.
If there's a hall of mirrors, that's where Aiden's going, because you know what? Fucking I'm being theatrical about
Fun
this.
houses. Sweet. Yeah, fun house are kind of,
That and there's not
Take
as
it your
much of
own
a
pace.
line because you just kind of walk in and walk.
Yep.
Mhm.
No queue.
You do have to sign. You do have to give up like a couple of tickets each.
That's
we
fine.
have 40.
Yep, we have 40.
It's probably, what, 2 each?
Yeah. Something like that. So what are you guys
I'll
doing?
keep a tally for lols.
So I guess we're going in the House of Mirrors.
You
What house it is?
do we remember any of the other names on the list?
Well, I have eidetic memory, so
Mm-hmm.
what are the other names on the list?
There's a Daniel Cummings.
God damn it.
I mean,
Daniel Cummings.
I'm going to assume that if there's only one name after that one, let's
Yeah,
be fair,
Aiden-
unless it was one of like the one or two before him, the chances they're still there are pretty slim.
Yeah.
Well, that assumes they weren't working on them all at the same time. We don't know
Aiden is
because
to
I
be
didn't look
honest.
at the dates.
Aiden, to be honest, he got told she pushed the button, so he's expecting trouble. So when he goes into the Hall of Mirrors, he's watching. Who's watching him effectively? You know, that kind of two-way mirror thing, and just kind of, is there anybody following them, or is there anybody really kind of keeping an eye on?
go ahead, roll me perception alertness.
Okay.
Div 4?
For who? Ah, Saoirse.
Oh, and me.
I have good eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
3 successes. Terrible dice, but good eyeballs.
Nope. Nope. No one's following you.
Not as bad as 10 points dice.
Shush.
Nobody's following you at all.
That's good.
But is it though?
Aiden will turn as they're walking. She pushed the button. Maybe we should concentrate on less having fun and figure out what the fuck she pushed and what's coming.
Do we
This
know
is
if
me.
anybody else anybody else on that list is here?
It doesn't matter about the list. I'm more worried about her at the minute. She
Well,
clocked
no.
one.
Wait,
10
wait,
points
why are we
lead.
worried about her?
Because she clocked something. She looked
Clocked
right
me,
at 10
Raya.
points.
Makes sense for him.
So, which means
She
she's
got
not
it.
heavily. Yes, which means she's not heavily infected. Whatever the fuck she is, means she's obviously aware, and she's after pushing something, which means she's alerted something. So, and we're in a room. We're in a place full of crowded people.
We can't exactly go all.
We can't do anything and we can't confront her right now.
No.
What I meant was because I saw that she wasn't, I don't know, reacting normally, I guess. But if it's a side effect of whatever they did, and if there are other people here off that list, it could be the same problem. That could be who she alerted.
Tisha will nod.
I can't afford to come at us in a crowd either.
No.
I mean, the tickets
This might
don't
not be-
expire. We can always come back.
Can. It might not be a bad thing that they kind of suspected us, because then that means that maybe we'll run into them in a less crowded place and we can deal with it then.
Here's a question, an interesting one. I don't know much about Coney Island on the OOC. How established is it? What's the gauntlet? Because if we're on a fairground, that's not quite the same as city.
True.
No, but because of the amount of people there, the amount of technology there, it's going to be a difficulty 7.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out if I could get away with Pulse.
I mean, there are definitely enough mirrors right now.
Oh, there
Mhm.
are.
There are ample.
You are surrounded by a lot of mirrors. Look big and tall. Some make you look short and stout. Make you look like your body's in an S.
She admittedly finds this very disconcerting, as she has never seen warped mirrors. Like, not besides like the Magnify-E ones, they're just a wee bit concave, you know.
There's some that make your face look like it's stretched out to the borders of the mirror.
Jason is looking less at himself and more using the mirrors to look around corners.
There's
Is there one where
still nobody following you.
only the top or the bottom half is distended, so the top looks normal?
Yes. Anybody had big ass body.
God, you know what? Fuck it. As long as at eye height, it's normal. She's not sure what happens if you look through a fucked up mirror, but she really doesn't want to find out. She will fire off through the link first, however. Do you want me to take a glance, Ryan?
Yeah.
And she will actually make a point of migrating around to, and I imagine that it's you can weave all around and through these mirrors. So she will find a place that is kind of stuffed in the corner, as it were, so that if she freezes up, it's not going to attract attention. Just in case.
Okay.
Woohoo! And takes a little sneaky peek to see if there's anything
Little
following them on the
idiot.
other side.
Nope.
Are there any things on the other side?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's gluttony spirits. There's a whole bunch of spirits in the area.
But nothing that stands out as unusual to this kind of surrounding.
Yeah.
And so
Nothing that immediately sticks out. I mean, you're looking at a building.
Oh, I am. So yeah, she will.
But you don't. The ordinary. You don't see anything out of what you would expect to find in something that to sense worm smells like a dumpster.
Yep.
Or landfill.
Delightful.
Yeah.
So she makes a brief glance of it when nothing especially compelling crops up, and then continues moving.
At least in here. Nothing good, but nothing strange. You're nothing interested.
I'm not sure if I'm relieved or disappointed.
Relieved. All right. Besides, that is only inside. I would have to get a look outside for a proper assessment.
But no, there's nothing following you. There's a couple of spirits interested in you, but it's because you're guying things all of a sudden in this area.
Mm-hmm. And she'll again bow Jason down as though she's whispering something cute like in his ear, and echo her words through the link so that she's only has to look like she's whispering to one person.
I have enough nightshade that if we wanted to wait or leave unseen, we might have a chance.
Well, wait, not leave unseen, because it's not that... Well, it is getting dark.
But it's not that dark. It's pretty light in here. It's not dark in here.
Yeah, but
like
she'll...
at all. You could use it, but you'd look like,
Well, yeah. Obviously not necessarily
massive.
right here. It was more like, is it feasible that if they used it in the right place, they could slink out of the park with it? Or is it still too bright? Okay, so yeah, she'll be whispering to him and echoing it in the link for the other two.
I have enough nightshades left that we could either hide until the people were gone or leave if we wanted. But I don't think they'll do anything overt while there's so many people here.
No. But after the people have gone, that's when I want to see what happens next.
Then we need to find someplace dark.
Well then, Aiden will just start walking out. Or finding his way out.
They will find their way through the rest of the funhouse.
It's not nearly as fun as it could be.
Nope.
And they muddle on.
Okay. So, what are you guys gonna do? Gonna look something up real
To a large
quick.
extent, although he's helping, Jason is bowing to other people's seniority and experience in this. So
It will at least have been conveyed that they are looking for a place that is dark that they can enter without drawing too much attention. And I am about to like straight up Google Coney Island to look for.
Yeah, I've no experience with Coney Island.
never been.
What are you looking for?
Like everyone has heard of the classic like Tunnel of Love thing because it's dark and ooh, but we're looking for some sort of attraction where it will be low light or no light, or some convenient alley maybe.
There's a
that-
haunted house.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was just
Ooh.
about to say. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
I mean, it is a neighborhood. Like, it's not just
Mm-hmm.
the fair.
You got the beach
no
and
idea.
boardwalk. Yeah.
So
Okay.
actually, yeah.
You
I,
live there.
Did you just go under the? Well, I don't know if we want to get any closer to the beach.
No.
Hmm.
Aiden, go,
Right. No, we don't. Yeah, we don't want
go to the
to.
haunted house. No near the beach. No near
Mhm.
water.
It's one of those haunted houses that you ride through that like try to scare you with different stops.
All right.
Here's a
So,
question: is there a
there's-
blatant booth right there at the exit where it's like, here, buy the pictures of yourself being scared shitless?
Yes,
Awesome.
indeed.
Honestly, because she can't quickly
Why?
assess anything like that, Tempoint will just kind of call Saoirse's attention in that vague direction.
Hmm.
Because that means there are cameras!
Yeah.
That are best avoided.
Yep.
I mean, other than that, like, it's a big place.
the boardwalk isn't like walled off, though, is it?
No,
Is there any reason that they can't just wander back off out of the crush of people and then eventually make their way around to where they left the car?
yeah, totally.
Jason will make that suggestion. Because it's not like a theme park that you'd have to like climb walls to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you don't buy. Yeah, I mean, it's literally you got like random ass ticket booths and some rides and a couple of restaurants and food carts. There's a section for playing all sorts of different long games, like like cornhole, volleyball.
Like you do.
You do. There's even a section for that safety version of lawn darts.
I
The one
imagine
that
the
didn't
point,
have that.
the only reason that we are not taking that suggestion is that we do want to see what what goes on here after dark.
It is dark.
Does Coney Island, quote, ever really close, per se?
No.
Or is everything open forever?
Everything is pretty much open all night.
Oh,
The ride
right.
shut down.
Okay.
The ride shut down. But there's like food and stuff almost all night. People work in shifts.
Oh,
And in fact, you'll see like there's a sign like the rides are open from like 7 until midnight.
Hmm.
And each different restaurant has its own hours of operation, stuff like that.
huh. So,
It's a big area. It's a community.
so Aidan will look over then. We could just wait until she gets off her shift.
Could do, right?
Go back to the car. Drive off. It's not like I can't find her again.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, just keep it nice and casual. Yeah, he'll start making his way back to the car. They've got a few hours to kill until their shifts end, I would imagine.
Are we still not seeing any sign of like overt interest even in the
There is
fringes
no
of the
sign
show?
of, I mean, aside from the cops. I mean, every time you
yeah.
pass a cop, he's watching you, or she's watching you. You know, it's not anything more than that. No.
Okay. I can't help but be super paranoid because something has got to be doing something. And so 10 Point will, as they're walking, kind of glance around for a place to sidle off and perhaps be out of the main thoroughfare or easy sight of passersby.
Yeah, I
And we'll
mean,
just
you get to
carry it
the
in our hand.
parking lot, you're just fine. Get to
Oh.
the parking lot just fine.
That's true. I just didn't want to lead anything back. Paranoid. Yeah, she'll just fuck it, get in the car, and then use the rearview mirror.
Okay.
Or actually lean and glance through the window out the side mirror. And we'll get warned that
Okay.
she's doing it in case she gets stuck.
Okie dokie.
But not 70-10. Swear I'm not a cheater. F1. Well, one success again.
So you're looking.
Mm-hmm.
You get the same thing. A whole bunch of spirits. Stinks real bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a place that there's obvious corruption in the place. Other than that, I mean, meh.
Yeah, she just is very unnerved, perhaps, by the fact that there was a button pushed and nothing
There was
has
a button
happened.
pushed. Nothing.
She
has
doesn't
happened.
like that nothing has happened. It means something's going to happen, clearly. And yeah. So after she has had herself a good glance around, she will just kind of flump back against the seat of the back seat and throw up a helpless shrug. Nothing strange. Nothing unusual. Nothing especially interested. What could the button have meant if they don't do anything?
Warning.
Maybe it took a picture.
Probably could have done that either. Either way. We kind of rub his chin awkwardly, then and look over. We could wait till our shift goes out and see what happens. Or we could come back. We now know where she works. We know her hours. Why don't we choose a time where we don't? Where she's not working. See what we find. We just shrug. Either way.
I wouldn't mind checking the list in the interim. just to have something to do, if nothing else.
I look back at 10 point and Saoirse, see what they think.
I mean, more than anything else, 10 Point just looks antsy.
Saoirse is willing to do whatever they want to do. She's fine with it.
Fuck it, wait. Yeah, Aiden would just just kind of start the car, drive off, and keep lapping around, letting Jason do whatever he wants with the files and stuff. And
Okay.
keep himself
Did we
occupied
bring
for a
them with
few
us?
hours. I don't know, did we?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
You can say yeah. You brought the medical files with you. You did
10
not
Point-
bring the liquid, but you brought the medical files. with
No, fuck that thing. That can just live on the mantle for now.
you.
No,
Fuck
10
that
Point
goop.
will, however, pull the binder and anything else people got printed off out of her swag and plop them in Jason's lap.
Hey, Jason, what are you specifically looking for?
Since I have the entire set of files, he's comparing probably to see if there are any commonalities among the individual test subjects. Dates and times mentioned on the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
If it says
know-
anything on the paperwork about the success or failure of the
Yes,
experiments.
it does.
It
does.
Okay, yeah, we probably should have looked at that first.
Right. You did not. You don't get any dates. The notes are given in day number this of experiment
That
of
still
project,
works.
of Project Crawler. You will notice that the first 10 subjects, it is very noticeable because you can literally cross-reference them. I'm not going to make you roll anything for it. The first 10 subjects have been specifically noted to not be able to change shape once they have
Since crabification has been achieved.
And it is. Sorry, I have like 3 trains of thought. Sorry. Yeah.
I totally
So
understand.
the first 10 have not are noted to not be able to change form.
Okay.
The next 7, of which Richard is a member of, have had moderate success with changing between what they note as claw form and human.
Which makes sense because Richard had great difficulty changing back into himself.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, the last subject, it is noted that she is the first and only test subject so far that has achieved chittling form.
Does it describe what that means?
It does not describe that. Sorry, not chittling, chittering. Notes here.
That doesn't sound. That sounds worse. And he will relay this information with a kind of a, and I don't know what chittering form means, but it doesn't sound good.
And 10 Point will abruptly take some interest and lean up to glance over his shoulder.
Do they name other ones?
Well, there's 18 people in total.
The forms.
She was the last one. Other forms? He
She
kind of flips
nods.
back through to double check. Just obvious.
You will say in the note. You'll see in the notes that it says claw, and then in parentheses a question mark form.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Claw form and
Claw form has been noted, but claw is it's claw, and then it's like question mark in parentheses, and form. And then the next one, they make note being able to switch between claw and human, or or Hamid, however you want to say that. It's used interchangeably in the notes.
they
and
use the
then
word
you
Hamid
have-
in the notes. Jason's like,
Yeah.
so, and it says they can change between Hamid form. Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
this
that's
is
bad.
this is why 10 Point is leaning over and looking, because it's not a word she knows, but it's beginning to sound suspiciously familiar.
Yeah, Saoirse's now.
And he,
yeah,
he taps his finger on Hamid. And does anybody else ever use this word? I'd never heard it before I changed.
What is it?
They name multiple forms. And if she sensed what I was doing before, it sounds that she is very similar to we are. Like the Pharaoh.
Fuck. Which means
Yeah, I was about to say the
But
only.
it's not a word in any
No, it's only
normal
in.
human language.
No, it's only in our society.
So, from the sound of it, maybe it is an all the way shape. They didn't seem.
I mean, to be
I've
fair,
never-
Hamid is also an archaeological term.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
And Saoirse would know that too. She'll say it's also used in archaeology.
But
Maybe, but if they have no in betweens, it could just mean that they
hominid
have.
is. I don't think Hamid is.
I think we're dancing over semantics here.
No, but I mean,
What
out
is-
of character, I think that's an important distinction.
Meh. I mean, even if it
Sorry,
is used
Dad was an
archaeologically.
archaeologist.
Yeah. Even if it is used archaeologically or isn't, it's still 10 Point doesn't know archaeology.
So if they have Hamid and we've seen them go large, maybe it's the other extent. They don't seem to have an in between.
Or maybe,
So now we need to look out for tiny lobsters.
or maybe as this person saying the report is, and he'll like lift it up and read it. She's the first one to successfully co-shift between whatever forms they can shift.
No, the others have moderate success.
Oh,
There's
moderate
seven-
success, but yeah.
She's the only one who's
But
achieved
she's-
this particular form.
She is the
Yeah.
only one that is has achieved chittering form.
Chittering.
I'm not sure the value of turning into a crab, but
Wait a minute. If you didn't want to be seen, you'll point at the word chittering. What happens if you could make yourself so small or so many that you could sneak into something?
You think maybe, like, they come
Many.
apart?
Ugh.
Mm,
10 Point actually shudders at the idea, sits back
Like
very
spiders.
promptly.
like spiders.
Or like
Or
those
rats.
movies where people turn into a horde of moths or bats or whatever. Do vampires do that?
no,
I don't know.
Sorry.
But I don't like it.
Means we got to be extra careful around her then.
Because we don't know what she can do.
Pretty much, and if she's able to clock 10 points gifts, that means she's very much like us. Or some form twisted. Something like that.
Why are they?
Maybe it's like skin dancer
Oh.
stuff.
Could someone please remind me out of character if Felix actually reported all the people he had to slaughter? Because I do
Did
not
they?
remember if that was in game.
He briefly told Aiden he didn't go into details.
Well, very well. Then I probably
worm
do.
did- The worm does many things. So,
Would mean they could attack Rokea.
good.
I
Good, very
imagine
easily.
otherwise it'd be very hard. On the one hand, I wonder how easy or hard it is to contact them, to make them more aware. On the other hand, I really don't want to go near a
We
large
should-
body of water to find out.
We should let them know by the same merit.
Oh. She kind of sits bolt upright. Glances around.
If, fish spirits or other swimming spirits, something that could go down and tell them.
You look at her like you're the fucking theurge, not me. Do you know what I mean?
But we would have to get near the water. I imagine most of them don't especially like or want to come out of it. So we would still have to go to a beach. Maybe closer to where we first met them instead of close to
That and points off towards Coney Island.
That.
That.
The devil.
The devil.
Look, she feels ways, all right? Pretty sure
Well,
that was
you're the
fixated.
theurge. You're the theurge 10 points, so whichever is easier for you. What do you want to do?
body of water. Well away from there.
Yeah, Aiden, no. Jump back into the driver's seat.
Perhaps are already weird and pinchy and I didn't like them, but now I don't like them more.
They're really tasty.
They are.
They are tasty.
And potentially full of the worm. Awesome.
Looks at her hands like,
What am I going to do with this?
You start driving to the nearest body of water that is not near Coney Island, according to 7 Point.
Okay. It's a fishing dock, not far away, but away enough from Coney Island.
Away enough and the pier is well up out of the water.
that seems fine.
And yeah, you pull up and turn for it, do your thing.
And yeah, she'll is this far enough away from I assume the gauntlet is still like 6 or 7.
Yeah. However, if you go out into the beach, I'll let it be a 6.
Crap.
To the beach.
To
I
the
mean,
beach.
it's a lot harder to disappear without being noticed in the middle of a beach, sadly.
It's 7:30 at night. There isn't really a lot of beach
Yeah.
people here.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I was
That's
about to
true.
say.
And it is
especially when Coney Island is available.
Yeah.
and it's fucking January.
It's fucking January.
It's fucking January.
Okay, fair. Fair. These are all solid points, and I approve of all of them. So yeah, once he's parked, 10 point, we'll go ahead and hop out of the car and pause because she doesn't want to go by herself.
Yeah.
There might be Satan on the beach.
He'll get out wearily. Just
10 point now hates the beach. Congratulations. And yes, she will be a giant baby and require accompaniment to the beach, and then
he grumbles after her, walking.
and yeah, she'll stay just out of reach of the wake. So if anything comes skittering, maybe she can see it and make a roll.
Make a roll. Okay.
Yay.
Make your roll, madame.
Poof.
Poof. 3 successes. You cross over pretty easily. Do you take everybody with you?
I
Except
can't
for
take
Jason.
everybody with me. But I will probably yank Aiden along so that I am not entirely by myself in case there is Satan on this side.
Okay.
Because I am not leaving the cubby by himself. Oh no.
No, Saoirse wouldn't leave him by himself anyway. So
Yeah.
So who's crossing over to the Ember? Is everybody crossing over to the Ember?
No.
no,
No.
Saoirse.
Unless
No.
it is suggested that we should do so.
No. Two on
No.
one side, 2 on the other.
Yeah, Saoirse will stay with
Okie dokie.
Jason, and her pack will alert her if they need to come over.
Okie dokie. Give me a perception, spirit lore, to see if you can spot a fish spirit. There are plenty of water spirits nearby.
Well, water works
Um,
too. Anything that's even vaguely Gaian pretty much works.
Yeah, I mean there are plenty of water spirits.
That will work just fine, and they can probably travel even faster, truth be told.
Too bad the one with water spirit heritage is on the other side of the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Who has water spirit heritage?
Saoirse. I have 2 dots of it.
Is it the only thing that's not on your fucking overlay?
Hey, I took some shit off. Actually, thank you very much.
Just wanted to review.
God, it was my very first overlay I
Yeah,
made for
you can
Saoirse. It
do.
was on there, actually. But
yeah,
yeah.
she'll amble down to the wake, as it were, the lipping bit of the water, and go ahead and crouch down.
Find several water spirits. Very slow and sluggish.
Why are they still in sluggish? Because it's cold.
Because it's freezing
Yeah,
in New York at the moment.
yeah, because it's fucking cold. Hadoy. That's why I asked the question and immediately answered it, because I realized that was stupid. So yeah, she'll crouch down and address the little spirits that are just chilling in the wake.
Might I ask a favor of you, little cousin?
Yes. What kind of favor?
There are Rokea, not too far from here, yes?
There is 3 grottos surrounding New York.
Could you take them a message for me?
Which grotto?
The closest.
Actually, what the fuck was that dude's name? Should have written it down earlier when you were doing your recap. Can I make a quick like wits roll to try to remember or something?
Memory is intelligence.
Oh, intelligence then. That's a better roll anyways.
Base intelligence. Base intelligence.
Ooh!
It's going to be.
What was that
What'd she
ancient? What was that ancient Rokea's name?
Teeth
he
of
did tell
waves.
us. What the waves?
Teeth of waves.
The waves. So she will correct herself, actually saying,
Actually, do you know the one called Teeth of Waves?
Every water spirit knows.
Then perhaps you could take the message to him.
I will. I can't guarantee he will answer. He doesn't answer very often. Especially to those that live in the unsea.
He doesn't need to answer me. I just want to give a warning.
A warning. A warning for what?
The worm is making creatures that shift and change like we do. Like the Rokea do. But they are like crabs or lobsters. And they are potentially a very real threat.
Okay.
Warn them that they are making these, that they are taking forms as we take forms, that they have the same abilities that we do.
Okay.
and she will kind of cup her hands into the water around it. Say,
Let me warm you so that you can swim faster.
and we'll essentially feed it a gnosis, but invigorate it. Hopefully.
Okay. You feed it a gnosis.
Thank you, little cousin.
For this message, I require a secret.
Huh. No, 10 point mulls that over.
Isn't chillinage. No, this isn't chillinage.
Oh, I know
No,
it's not.
this is-
It's just a nice gesture, really. No. I expected there to be chiminage. I'm just like, I'm gonna say. I mean, thank God she's already kind of nipped by cold air and whatnot, so it's probably not that evident. But she does turn pink. But that is a secret worth a lot more, so we'll keep that to herself. Bob, stop making faces at me.
Is Bob listening?
I mean, he's standing here and heard that and immediately made the troll dog face. Turn the light on to make sure I could see it better. Trying to think of like what's secret enough to be worth something. You know, I have a good one.
It barks up.
And considering there's what, one person who's properly aware?
Then let me tell you, Spirit, that as a Skinner came into my people and found ways to kill us through deceit, to harvest our hides. She walked longer among us as I disobeyed an order, and that I am at fault for at least one death that she caused through my inaction.
And there is like just, I mean, I don't know how well spirits can detect an emotional state or the emotion that grips towards and whatnot, but it's a confession that just drips with shame.
Okay. There's a rippling effect when you finish your secret, almost like you tossed a stone into the middle of the spirit. I will return your message. And it goes off into the ocean.
And she, as she gets up, takes a moment to kind of compose her face. Because, well, the only other person who knows it is standing close enough by that he might have listened in if he really wanted to.
He doesn't speak spirit speech. All he hears is...
Oh, that's right. Spirit speech is... Oh, I love you, spirit speech. So yeah, she still will take a moment to compose her face and stand herself up, dust a little bit of sand off of her hands, and turn to glance around.
They've been warned, right?
All right. What do you suggest we do now?
And she kind of brings up her hands in a helpless gesture.
Stop them? Destroy their records? Keep them from ever doing something like this again? I don't know, right?
Well,
Are you sure you
obviously,
can't get a beat on him?
It'll take me some time to try again. But I can try again.
Not in this scene.
Not in the scene yet. That's what I mean. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
In
she-
character, you know.
God! Yeah, her lips just kind of firm into a line and she nods understanding.
Of course. What we can do now, the most maybe, is try to go back and find her as she leaves. Be rid of her. It's one less.
Sure. But do you want to do that with just the four of us when we not know what she's truly capable of?
Or how many she has nearby? No, not especially.
We do know where she is, and I can find her, and I have a beat on her. We know where she works. We know her hours. I say we take stock. The work here are warned. We come back with a bigger force and take her down.
Of course, right.
We've got what we needed. It's like Jason said. Let's not go charging into things. Let's start. We'll just like go. You know, like kind of gesture, like, "Can we get the fuck out of here? I'm freezing."
Maybe. No, in fact, she sticks herself in the gauntlet instead.
And just the why are you the way that you are stares. He just looks at her.
She can't see your judgment. She's busy living, you know, all these squares make a circle right now.
You can, yep, you can,
I gotta tackle her. Hang on. I will try to tackle 10 point.
Oh my god.
At least you're not stuck.
Nope, I'd bonk my head off the gauntlet and then send a message through Saoirse going, "Fuck, she's stuck in the fucking thing."
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure she's like half visible on their side too at this
Mhm.
point. In suspended animation.
Saoirse is
That
just
point's
kind of
life is
looking like
it's not, It's not
Oh.
visible. You're like kind of stuck in the umbra, and yeah.
Can
So,
Saoirse pinpoint where she is and try and get her?
yeah, yeah. You drag her through the umbra.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Oh,
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. And I'll let you open the way for
Blade at the same time.
Great. Yeah.
at the same time. Take some time. Takes a little while. And when you eventually do get them out, because it takes about 10 minutes, the waves near the beach have increased a little bit.
Point is now clinging to Saoirse like a lifeline because she kind of is.
Yeah, it's
The
okay.
tide should be
Where
coming
the
in.
where the waves were sort of light coming in, because you're in an area basically where it's almost closed off. It's almost an inlet where you guys are at. There's white water on the top of these waves. And from out of these waves,
Oh boy. It's either really good or really bad.
Right?
So we all just stare at
Sorry.
the SG's overlay, dying of suspense.
my computer's being very slow at the moment.
It's okay.
Patient.
Patient.
A man's face walks out.
oh my God.
Oh, thank God.
Pinpoint is still clinging tightly to Saoirse. and
3 of you
probably-
have seen this face before.
Jason has no idea who this individual is, but just has this feeling that he just drops to a knee. Like,
Oh.
I have no idea who this is, but I'm pretty sure that they outrank me because they just walked out of the ocean.
Safe call.
Mhm.
Also, he looks kind of like God.
Right? It's like God just walked out of the fucking ocean.
He looks kind of like God. I'm going to remember that.
Pretty
In a
apt.
very Euro-Christian sort of sense. But yes.
Hello?
And you know what, with Jason forging the way on that one, 10 point while also probably still clinging to Saoirse's hand at the very least, or her shirt or something, will kind of shakily take herself down to a knee as well in a gesture of respect. Because let's be honest, every water spirit knows him. He's either big or old or both, and yep, this just seems safe. And she'll convey the same impression of he's at least worthy of some measure of awe to
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
two.
Oh yeah, no, Saoirse is getting down on her knees like, oh hi.
You know, if my ancestors and I could have made Garou go on their knees this easy, it would have been a better time to live.
We have had time to learn.
I have your message. Stand up, please.
Jason will stand up.
Yep.
So will Saoirse.
Yep.
Like, just the way he said that, Saoirse even cracks a smile, like,
She doesn't know how sharks show respect, okay?
Well, they don't have knees.
God damn it. They don't have knees.
You say this thing is a mockery of the worm.
Pinpoint's glancing to see if either of Pariahs is going to speak up, or if they're just kind of expecting her to do it.
I mean, Aiden kind of gives a look at Temple. You sent the fucking message. Go on.
Right? That's kind of Saoirse does the same thing. You sent the fucking message. You talked to him.
And she will again turn to face him and kind of offer a puzzled expression, but a nod.
I have never seen or heard of such things. But it seems that they are the greatest threat to you and yours. I wanted to make sure that you could prepare until we had a chance to find where they're coming from.
Our grotto has already been attacked once. We originally contacted you. The other grottos have been informed. These things are known as mockery.
Is there any insight that you could give us so that we can do away with it?
Kill it.
She finally
Eat it.
takes up a faint smile because, well, there is that.
And of course they attacked you from the boat, so we don't have a straight line back to them. I am sorry that it has taken us so long.
We have encountered them before. These mockery.
You have.
The Anurana. They're known. You would see them as were-frogs.
Blink?
Oh. And I assume the solution then was the same as the solution now.
We ate them.
Huh.
They do not taste good.
Would imagine not.
The crab tastes okay.
Point is putting a concerted effort into not doing like the open mouth kind of buh. Because let's face it, yeah, they're mostly teeth and mouth, but that is the worm. You don't put the worm in your mouth. She's pretty sure
The
there's a
roquet
roll written
do.
somewhere. Well, exactly.
No,
like
There's
there's some culture shock taking place.
Very well.
Jason is just kind of like, "Buh."
And could you do us a debatable favor? And send us a similar spirit if they make another attack. Give us a chance to aid you or to track them back. We didn't get anywhere the last time. There wasn't enough of a trail.
Our grottos are too deep for you to reach,
They have to get down there
nor
from
would you be welcome.
Oh no, I wouldn't ever, but they have to get down there from somewhere.
For you to reach. Not for them. For you. Our grottos are safe. If they attack, I will let you know.
And, yeah, she'll look markedly like a chastised child as she kind of gives a little nod.
Thank you for answering.
You, Guru, may be favored of the land, but you will never be favored of the sea.
Saoirse will nod at that.
Jason looks oddly sad.
Aiden doesn't dispute it. He's not going to argue.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
there's zero dispute.
Nor should we be. Not with you there to do a better job of it.
My advice, eat them.
Eat them.
Eat them.
Saoirse will nod. All right.
Yep, there's just kind of the nod. Like, yep, that seems perfectly legit.
Yep.
Totally valid. Okay.
Any more news?
We found where the man who is making them has come from. A place called Dubai.
Dubai.
And she kind of glances back for some sort of indicator from the others, perhaps poking through the pack link. The nearest ocean, maybe? Like, what? The nearest sea, the nearest whatever.
He was originally from Afghanistan. He is supposed to have died in Dubai.
The names of the seas there, maybe, be more familiar.
Oh, it's on the water.
It is still a name for a place on land.
Right, it's a gulf.
It's the Persian Gulf.
Yeah.
And she'll glance over to see if that rings a bell.
We will get the message to them. It will be heard.
And she'll kind of desperately reach back.
Anything else that might be of value to them to know? Anything else that could help?
We haven't tracked Sarah to where she lives yet, so. No?
This is true. And she'll jerk her chin in the vague direction of Coney Island.
There's at least one out there. Now. We don't know if there are more. But she's in the middle of too many people.
Where?
And, she will, I guess, kind of point.
It's called Coney Island. The place with the Ferris wheel. She was there. If you can sense the worm, you'll be able to pick her out easily.
If she enters the water, she will be eaten.
There's a respectful nod of thanks.
Same from Saoirse. Very grateful. Thank
She
you.
may.
Each moment I am on land, I am gaining taint. Is there anything else?
No. Please return home. I'm sorry.
And he just sort of turns around and walks back into the water.
And kind of like you do with a particularly renowned guru, she will kind of stand at attention, back up out of the surf, and only then kind of turn to properly regard the others and maybe even give a fond look to the car. Because it really is cold and her feet are very wet now.
Yup.
What just happened?
It did.
Well, now we know where to look. They know where to look. That place makes a lot of sense, being as close to the water as it is. There's probably more there, you think?
Probably 16 more, unless the
Not 16.
killed some of them.
And she kind of jerks her chin after God, who just disappeared into the waves.
He's killed several.
And she squints, casting a glance over.
And at least one must have made it down to their grotto in the first place, so one or more died that way. I don't imagine there are many. Not unless there is another group making more.
We don't know that they've stopped.
No, I'm sure they haven't. But the ones in that book, I doubt many, if any, besides her, are still alive.
We'll get her. We'll just regroup, plan it. And let's do it. So, let's take stock of what we have and regroup and plan when we have a bigger group.
Sounds like a fine idea to me.
Okay. So, I assume we're going into the car and going back to the steps?
Yes.
Yep.
We should do
Okay.
logistical things and not die.
Logistical things, not die. Planning,
Not-
tacticians.
Madness.
Yes. Not dying is a good thing.
Dying.
Not dying. Not today.
I think that's a good place to end the scene then, if we're heading back to Sept.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, Bob, for watching.
We'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.